So this weekend we have finally the fight that's been built up for months. Literally months. We've had Dillon Danis fucking posting photos of Logan Paul's misso. Literally months on end of him finding every single guy that's allegedly railed her. Every single guy that has even fucking put his hand on her shoulder has been in a photo with her apparently. But finally the fight between Dillon Danis and Logan Paul is happening this weekend. And I actually think Dillon Danis has a really good shot in this fight. Of course, I'm going to still be going with Logan Paul, but I don't think this is a mismatch by any means. I don't think Logan Paul is that good, if I'm being honest. He's athletic, but he doesn't have the killer instinct that a Jake Paul or even a KSI have, in my opinion. I just don't think he has that killer instinct. I don't think he has that dog in him either. I feel like if the fight gets tough, he's willing to take, he's willing to just give in, I reckon. I could see him quitting. I think Logan Paul has a quitter in him. I don't think he's got that mentality where it's a fight to the death, I don't think he's got that mentality in him. I think the fight goes his way or it's over. We've seen him in the first KSI fight, amateur fight. We've seen him just completely not do anything in the later rounds when he had gassed out. He sort of just gave in and let KSI win the last few rounds, if I remember that fight correctly. I don't. What I'm getting at is I don't think Logan Paul has that dog in him. All right, that's what it comes down to, having that dog. You can't. You can work on all the technique in the world. You can work on all the fitness in the world, but having that dog is just a completely different thing. You're either born with it or not. And I don't think Logan Paul's got that dog in him. All right. Now Dillon Danis, I'm not sure either if Dillon Danis has that dog, but I do think he's got the better cardio, and I think he can exploit Logan Paul in this fight for his cardiovascular issues that we've seen him struggle with before. We've seen him slow down. He's a big muscular guy, and the thing we know about boxing, having big biceps and big muscles is not always a good thing. Especially if you get extended after past the first round. And the way I think Logan Paul is going to come out after all this trash talk is I think he's going to try and make a statement against Dillon Danis. I think he might come out really hard, and there's a good chance he could gas out and Dillon Danis might be able to go in there and beat him. But I still do think I'm going to have to go with Logan Paul, unfortunately. Dillon Danis isn't a boxer. In Bellator, we've seen his striking. He had sort of a karate base, sort of like Conor McGregor. They trained together. Obviously, doesn't have the striking prowess that Conor McGregor has, doesn't have that powerful left hand, doesn't have the speed and timing that McGregor has. He just has the same stance pretty much, which would all be very influenced because he did train at SGB Ireland with John Kavanagh and Conor McGregor many times over the years. He was McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach for a couple of his fights, his main jiu-jitsu coach, I believe. I know at the very least he trained jiu-jitsu. And that's another point. Dillon Danis is a lifelong grappler. There's people you can tell. When it comes to people, there's people you can tell are born strikers. There's people who just have that fast twitch fiber muscle. And then there's people who you can tell they'd be really good grapplers, but they wouldn't really have good hands. And Dillon Danis falls into that. Now, I'm not going to say his striking's as bad as Ben Askren, but he falls into like that Ben Askren type. I can't imagine Dillon Danis throwing powerful bombs. I don't think he's got that fast twitch muscle that you need to go in there and just one punch KO someone. Maybe he can use the volume here against Logan Paul. His key to victory here is ducking these shots, avoiding the big shots from Logan Paul and countering with body attacks. I think he really needs to focus on hitting the breadbasket of Logan Paul. That's the best way to victory in this fight, in my opinion, as he's got to slow this big motherfucker down. Because Logan Paul is much bigger than him. He's probably cutting from about 215, 220, I reckon. I think this fight's at like 200 pounds. I could be wrong, or 195, I think it is. So he's probably cutting from about 215 or 210 at the least. He's at least cutting 10, 15 pounds, I reckon. He looks like a big guy. He'd probably be a middleweight if he was in in a mixed martial arts promotion or something like that, which is, similar to like guys like Joe Pyfer, Paulo Costa. They're around that weight outside of camp. So I reckon Logan Paul's something around that. And Dillon Danis is a guy who talked about moving down to lightweight when he was fighting in Bellator. You know, this guy was fighting in like 170-pound catchweight bouts. Never fought at an actual weight class. Now he's fighting up 20 pounds. Like he's a good grappler, Dillon Danis. Like he is a really good grappler, but he's not a striker. But at the same time, like I said, I don't rate Logan Paul to the level of a Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul's got that killer instinct. I think Jake Paul's got that dog in him, but I don't think Logan Paul does. But I don't think Logan Paul's got the KO power Jake has. I don't think he's got the technique. So this is like a winnable fight. This isn't like the mismatch everyone says it is. You know, I don't like Logan Paul. I feel like he could let the pressure get to him a little bit here, especially with how much he has to go in there and like he has to destroy Dillon Danis or he's gonna look like a bitch. Even if Dillon Danis makes it to a decision and loses, he's gonna get the moral victory here. Like when you think about it, Logan Paul can't win this unless he goes in there and knocks Dillon Danis the fuck out because his manhood is on the line here. Everyone thinks Logan Paul is a joke. Everybody thinks he's a bitch because he went in there and sued Dillon Danis over trash talk. You know, his reputation is on the line here. Everyone thinks he's a joke. And if he doesn't go in there and provide a big knockout, which he's going to have so much pressure on him, Dillon Danis, he's already won. He's ruined Logan Paul's reputation. He's made Logan Paul look weak. He's made Logan Paul's fiance, you know, look like what's the word? I'm looking. He's made her look like a hoe. Let's just say that. I was gonna try and sugarcoat it to be something nice, but yeah, he's made her look like a hoe. All right, and nobody in their right mind wants a hoe. Except for Logan Paul, apparently. He doesn't mind about having the sloppy toppies, the sloppy toppy seconds, apparently, or sloppy toppy hundreds at this point. But yeah, I think we're gonna see Logan Paul come out very aggressive. And if he comes out too aggressive, live bet Dillon Danis. Like, if he comes out aggressive and doesn't get the knockout in that first round, if you can, live bet Dillon Danis. Because I think Dillon Danis has a big cardio edge in this fight. Now, I'm saying a lot of stuff here. We don't know much about Dillon Danis' striking because obviously in his two Bellator fights, you know, he got a toe hold. And then I can't remember what he got in the other fight, but he won by submission. You know, we haven't seen him win a fight with the striking, so we don't really know anything about his striking. He used a lot of kicks in his MMA fights, so we don't even really know much about his hands. I think he will come out with like a traditional boxing stance prop, maybe. I can't imagine he's going to come out with the karate stance. I don't really like when boxers do that, or not really. You don't really see many boxers, but a karate stance is always dangerous to have in boxing because that's literally your only weapons are your hands. And it's always going to be a bit dangerous with your hands down in boxing, especially with them big gloves. But how I see the fight going, because I did say I'm probably unfortunately picking Logan Paul. I just think Logan Paul's because we don't really know anything about Dillon Danis' durability. We don't know how good his chin is. But I think we're going to see Dillon Danis maybe be a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't think he's going to come out hot in the first round. I think he's going to be a bit I think he's going to start a bit slow. I think Logan Paul will take the first round pretty clearly. He'll take the second. I think he'll take a couple of the first few rounds, but I reckon by the fifth round, I think we'll see Dillon Danis make a bit of a comeback, but I think it'll be a little too late. I do think this will go to a decision, but I think there'll be like a point. But who knows? Who knows in this fight? There is so much we don't know about Dillon Danis. Like, has he been training boxing the 4 years he's been out of the game? Like, because there were talks about him versus Jake Paul in boxing about 3-4 years ago. So who knows? Honestly, who knows? There could be so many matchups that he's been training for that we didn't know about. So it really just comes down to if Dillon Danis really was taking all these call-outs over the years and boxing seriously. Like, he was booked against KSI in like January or February. So maybe he honestly has just been training like a fucking madman, but it is hard to know. Because Dillon Danis is a troll, but he is going to fight. He is going to be there. He's already in Manchester. So I'm certain this fight's going to happen, touch wood. But yeah, I do think Logan Paul will win a decision here, but I think the last two rounds are going to be tough for him. But again, we don't know if look, and we don't know if Dillon Danis has pop to his shots. That's the thing. He doesn't look like someone who would have like hard, powerful punches in these fights. He doesn't have that fast twitch muscle, in my opinion. He looks like he would be a bit of a plotter. The way he punches, I feel like I just can't see him having pop to them punches. He doesn't look very athletic. He doesn't look very powerful. That's like, I feel like, Logan Paul does look very athletic. He is powerful, I would say, but I don't think he's very good as a boxer. And like I said, I don't think he has that dog, but I do think he can just probably out athlete Dillon Danis here. But his cardio is a big concern. If Dillon Danis comes with the right game plan, though, like I say, mixing up them body attacks, going to the body, jabbing, jab, just keeping him going to the body. That body attack. Just keep mixing in them body attacks. Clinch up. If you're clinching with Logan Paul, hit him to the body. Logan Paul's coming at you, takes a big swing, duck, and then rip to the body. Just rip to the body. That's what he needs to do. That is Dillon Danis' path to victory, is rip to the body, and it'll work. Like, honestly, that's all he has to do. I know it's easy for you to say that. I know I'm giving a couch analyst. I'm being a couch analyst here, but honestly, you have a big guy like that. Logan Paul, not the most technical guy, swings like a wild man. If you're gonna fight somebody like that, they're gonna gas out with that style. And Logan Paul, that's how he fights. If you can make your job a bit easier and you can mix it to the body, you can make him a bit more tentative. And if he's a bit tentative, you'll start to overwhelm him a little bit. And like I say, I don't think Logan Paul's got that dog in him. I could see Dillon Danis overwhelming him here, but it's all going to come down to Dillon Danis' game plan here. He doesn't look very great on the pads, what I've seen, but he could be playing it up. But I honestly, I don't know. I do think Logan Paul's going to get this one done. But if Dillon Danis wins, Logan Paul, you're finished. You're done. Like, there is so much pressure on Logan Paul. Like, I can guarantee you that Dillon Danis isn't feeling the pressure from this. If he loses, he was expected to lose. He got to take the piss out of Logan Paul, and Logan Paul shook on an MMA fight between them. It won't happen. Logan Paul's not stupid. He's not going to fight Dillon Danis in MMA. But Dillon Danis can convince himself that, yeah, either way, I'm going to get this one back. I'll get this one in MMA. So, I don't lose anything here. But I think it's generally a very interesting fight. Like, I don't think this is the mismatch everyone thinks it is. I feel like people are overrating Logan Paul a little bit. Can he go in there and KO Dillon Danis? Sure. But I don't think he will. I think this is going to be more competitive than people think. Logan Paul is 0-3 as a boxer. Yeah, he fought Mayweather, but Mayweather, man, he's tiny compared to him. Even then, he still hurt him with some shots. And yeah, obviously, Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time. But you got to think he is so much smaller, and I don't think Logan Paul's got a chin either. I'm not saying he's glass jaw, but I don't think he's like super durable. We've seen him rocked against KSI. We've seen him rocked against Mayweather. Like, who knows? We don't know anything about Logan Paul's durability. But again, like I say, I don't think Dillon Danis is that powerful. He doesn't seem to have that fast twitch muscle. So it will be interesting to see what type of boxer Dillon Danis will be in this fight. Like, we don't really know much about, like, if he's going to be a volume striker, a power puncher. I would expect to see Dillon Danis is like a volume puncher, though. That's what it seems like his game plan is going to be, because he did keep talking in that face-to-face with Logan Paul that, he was going to make his style of fight, like he was going to, he's got big arms and all this stuff. So he's talking about Logan Paul gassing out. So I think he's going to be like a cardio volume puncher, sort of like obviously I'm not saying his technical ability would be on like this style, but I think he's like saying he's going to be sort of similar to like a Max Holloway type gameplay, try and gas your opponent out and then destroy them with volume. I think that's what we're going to see from Dillon Danis. I don't think we're going to see Dillon Danis go out there with like a one punch quitter fucking type style. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see Dillon Danis as a brawler either. I think he's going to have a volume type style. So it'll be interesting to see. Man, these Jehovah's Witnesses, they keep ringing the doorbell. I'm trying to make a video and I keep losing concentration. I don't know where I was, but I think I was just talking about, I don't think we're going to see Dillon Danis, the brawler, out there, but these fucking Jehovah's Witnesses keep ringing my doorbell. It's like, please stop. I'm in the middle of making a video. Please come talk to me another time. But yeah, that's pretty much. I don't think we're going to see Dillon Danis as a power puncher, is what I think I was getting onto. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. A bit of a long breakdown. I didn't think I would be talking about this fight so in depth, but it's been on my mind quite a lot. I think it's going to be a very interesting one, though. I'm looking forward to this one. Like I generally am. I'm very excited for this. Fucking God bless Dylan Dennis. Fucking he did everything he wanted. He did everything he needed to build the hype for this fight. So yeah, fucking good job, Dylan Dennis. But if you made it this far into the video, make sure you give it a like, leave a comment, and if you're not already, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. There's also a good chance we could see a disqualification from either man. You either get Logan Paul going there like a fucking psychopath and just swing when the referee tells him, like he just has like a fucking rage moment where he's just constantly swinging after the referee says to stop. Or we see Dillon Danis just go in there and fucking choke Logan Paul out cold. There are also options for this fight that I wanted to add, that just in case I need to make sure all options are available. Maybe Dillon Danis just goes in there and snaps fucking Logan Paul's arm in like 5 seconds, but yeah, anyway, it'd be interesting to see. If he's losing the fight, I guarantee you Dylan Dennis is going to throw up some sort of fucking submission, though, just to like, if it was MMA, I could have ended you. Like, that's how he'll get a moral victory. Sort of like Nate Diaz, like going for that guillotine against Jake Paul. So yeah, I just wanted to add that at the end of this video, that yeah, there is a chance that either of these two get DQ'd here, but I don't think that is going to happen. But just to throw the option out there, just in case it happens and I can look like Nostradamus, there is a good shot at a DQ. Conor McGregor wants Dylan Dennis to go out there and pull guard, so we'll see if he listens to Conor McGregor. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Subscribe, like, comment, you know the drill. I'll see you guys in the next video.